Hi, I'm Dawn, and this is where Shabby meets Blaine. I'm going to share with you one of my favorite things that I've ever done. I came across a Finial a few years back that looked kind of like this. It is not attractive. The color is not right. These are pretty much out of style unless they're chippy white paint or black to look like iron. So something like this, it really holds no purpose for anyone. But when I looked at it, all I could see was a pumpkin. I saw what looked like a jack-o'-lantern. So I bought it, and this was at a thrift shop, and I think I got it for like $1.50 or something. And I turned it into this. And I love him. I think he's amazing. And what I'm going to do today is take you step by step through how I made him. And this time I'm going to use that not so pretty blue one I showed you, and I'm going to make her into a pumpkin face, but she's going to be dressed up like a witch. And I wanted her to have a little more height, so I'm going to start off with two just simple little pieces of wood that you can get at any craft store. You can find them at resale shops. If you keep your eyes open, anytime I come across anything like this, I buy it because you just never know when you're going to use it. So step one was to pre-drill a hole through it, because this will get drilled through here. It'll be like here, there, and then there for height. So step one, hole drilled. Step two is I'm going to glue it down. After that, I'm going to glue it and clamp it. Then this guy, it has a sheen to it. So whatever paint it was, I want to make sure what I do to it sticks. So I'm going to take my handy dandy Rust-Oleum, and this is a deglosser, and this is from a furniture kit. And I've used this on furniture. I've used it on other little items that are nothing like furniture, like this. So I'm going to degloss this little guy, and then I'm going to paint him black, and then we'll go from there.
You are watching 1313 Mockingbird Lane, a vintage Halloween playlist crawl. I am being joined by two of my very good friends, Monica from Up All Night DIY and Annie from Crafting with Indiana Jones. This will be a 6-video playlist. Make sure you stay tuned to each and every video. You'll be glad you did.
So it is completely painted black on her pedestal, so she's a little taller. Now, since she's going to be a witch, she's going to remain mostly black, not like that, because I will be making a little witch's kind of cape situation for her, and she will have arms, and I'll probably put a broom in her hand, and she'll have a witch's hat. But first and foremost, I need to paint her face. What I'm going to do is just slowly outline, as you can see here, outline my lines for the eyes and the nose and the mouth. She's going to be a happy witch because I'm all about nice and not evil. Scary stuff I'm not into. I'm more about the joyous part of Halloween. So I'm going to start outlining her and painting in the rest of the pumpkin, and I may leave some little shadow lines in the grooves of the pumpkin. Have not decided yet. This was kind of a different style than what I'm going for here, although I want them both to have a vintage look. So let's get started. So here we have the basic outline, and it doesn't matter if you hit a little bit of the top part of the finial or not, or the bottom part, because once again, she will be dressed. She'll be dressed as a witch, witch's hat and everything, but you can kind of see how she's starting to come to life. Now I'm going to let this dry and come back and fill the rest in and get the back side done. So at this point, we need to just set her down and walk away for a little bit. here she is. And this is after 3 coats of paint. Use as many coats as you need to achieve the look you're after, but for me it was 3. Now I'm going to work on her hat and her arms. I will work the cape around her body after her arms are attached, and then add any little details that I want to later. But I initially thought maybe I would purchase, a little resale. I ran into some little straw hats and whatnot and thought I would configure them to fit her head and change them so it looked more with the format I was aiming for with her. But it didn't look right. It wasn't going right. So looking back at some of the real vintage pumpkin and Halloween statuary, what you're going to see is the use of a lot of crepe paper. So I'm going to formulate the brim of her hat with crepe paper. I'm just going to fold it and then pleat. So just a little pleating, a little pleating, and a little pleating, and you'll see the effect that I'm going to get by doing this. And then I'm going to do her arms. Her arms are going to be the same as this little guy here. They're going to be this wire that has false moss around it. I put it together. False moss around it to give it the look of growing vine. I am going to have her hold a broom as mentioned before, and I initially picked up this guy, and then I also have this to make my own, and I grabbed a stick out of the backyard for the handle, and I think I'm gonna go with the one I'm gonna make myself with the stick out of the backyard and this. Also in one hand, she's gonna be holding this beautiful little glass marble, which is gonna look like a crystal ball. So this is where we're at. Her cape is on. She's holding her broom and her crystal ball. I did a little detailing around the seam of the hat where it meets the actual finial to hide any orange that may have appeared, and I even added a little bow on the back. This material is a wired jute, which I spray painted black. So now I have to decide how much color I want to put on her. I think I am going to add some green details and some moss and a little detail on her hat. I think that will finish her off. So there she is, completely finished. I did add a little touch of paint here and there. I didn't want a lot of extra color because I wanted her to look like she just came from the deep dark forest with her crystal ball and her little wicked broom. But there she is, from beginning to end, from Finial to fabulous.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. Share it with your family and your friends and anyone that loves Halloween. You can show your support by subscribing, so don't forget to subscribe. But for now, this is Dawn with Shabby Meets Bling. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Make sure to stay tuned because this vintage playlist crawl continues in sunny Miami with Annie from Crafty